So, the Arsenal team went for a mid-season break in Dubai, and upon returning, got straight back to business, dismantling teams one after another, absolutely smashing Crystal Palace 5-0, beating Nottingham Forest 2-1, and they went on to dominate Liverpool Football Club, beating them 3-1 in a game where the narrative was, if they lose this game, all title hopes would wither away, and become a two-horse race between them and Manchester City, which they then followed up with a resounding 6-0 thrashing of West Ham United, and then put Burnley to the sword with a 5-0 win, which again was complete and utter domination from Mikel Arteta and the boys. Unfortunately, the away leg in the Champions League didn't follow the same pattern, as the occasion seemed to get the better of the boys, and they lost the game 1-0 in the final minutes. Although I'm not all that worried, as I'm pretty confident they'll turn this result around when they come back to the Emirates. Speaking for myself and parts of the fan base, we can say we may have a little PTSD from over the years after watching that game. Some may even think this is where the terrible run starts, since we've seen this all so often before in previous seasons. But the boys bounced back in the league in the best way possible by dishing out a handful of revenge to Newcastle, smashing them 4-1 at home, and once again showing their dominance. And you know what? This dominance thing is becoming a running theme, and I could really get used to this. We have to give credit to Arteta and the boys for coming back from the mini break seemingly rejuvenated and with new and fresh ideas. So let's take a look at how the playstyle has evolved at Arsenal from a free-flowing, all guns blazing style last season to a more methodical and controlled approach, and how the blend of the two has really improved us at both ends of the pitch by adding more weapons to our arsenal.
Oh brother, this guy stinks!
We can really take this title race to the wire with the likes of Liverpool and Manchester City. I do think we have to remember that there's been a significant amount of change in this team, and ultimately players will need time to adapt to their new environments, their teammates, and even how the manager wants them to play, as we already know how well coached his team is. We can see how each and every player knows exactly where to be in relation to their teammates in every phase of play. This is one of the many reasons Arsenal looks so dangerous when they are fully firing. Chemistry between players needed time to build, and some players have taken a little longer than others, but we can now confidently say all 11 players on the pitch know exactly what's expected of them. I do want to give a big shout out to Mikel Arteta, as we have to remember this is his first job as a manager, and if we put aside the short stints of our previous managers such as Unai Emery, following the footsteps of one of the greatest managers of all time, Arsene Wenger, this is a tall ask for even the best of managers out there, as we can see how difficult it's been for the likes of Manchester United. Being a new manager means he didn't have the reference point or relevant experience of how to solve the issues he'd be faced with being at the club, the size and stature of Arsenal. And it's a lot different from being alongside Pep when he deals with adversity than being the one who has to ultimately figure things out and make the hard decisions when the time comes. Although he can be stubborn at times, he's becoming a lot more adaptable, and he's learnt from his mistakes as time has gone on, for which some fans may say it has taken a little too long to get here. And to be honest, I can't argue with that opinion, as I've felt the same way myself. At times, he's been very frustrating, but he's definitely turned it around for me in the last 2 seasons, with the likes of Rio Ferdinand making ludicrous statements that Mikel Arteta would leave Arsenal to join United in a heartbeat, to the countless amount of times he's been linked to the Barcelona job in the summer. This is a testament to the brilliant job he's doing and continues to do, so I'm happy with Mikel Arteta at the helm of this new Arsenal team, and I'm excited to see how Mikel and the players evolve in the future. So, now I'm done waxing lyrical about our manager, let's analyse how Mikel Arteta has built this team, just going off his signings alone, bringing in 29 players so far to the club during his 4-year tenure. So far, the only forward players signed have been Gabby Jesus, Leandro Trossard and Willian. I'm not counting Marquinhos, as he's barely played for the first team, was sent out on loan upon arriving, and now he's been sent out on another loan back to Brazil, which also includes an option to buy. Since Mikel Arteta has been here, he's spent more on Kai Havertz alone than all the attacking players combined. And the way I see it, he came in with a plan to focus on fixing our leaky defence with better structure to build a defensive foundation for this team. The likes of Saliba, who is an exceptional talent who would walk into most teams around Europe. And now we're seeing a dominant, no-nonsense centre-back in Gabriel, leading the back line. And we can't say it isn't paying off. As the metrics show, we have the best defensive record in the league since the turn of the year, with the lowest XG against at 1.88. We've also conceded the least amount of goals, with the ball ending up in the back of our net only 3 times. And as cliche as it sounds, goals do win games, but defences win titles. Mikel has really added height and steel to this Arsenal team, who were once known as a team with a soft underbelly, whose opponents could kick and bully them off the pitch. But now, with the likes of Declan Rice shielding the centre halves, and Kai Havertz in the middle of the park, and sat just behind them, the best centre-back partnership in the league, teams really do have to fight their way through to even get a chance at our goal. So what has this shift in playstyle meant for the team? A lot of the fan base said that at the start of the season we were too rigid and almost robotic, and I'd have to agree to a certain extent. However, I have to give the players the benefit of the doubt that the instructions given to them by the manager was such a drastic 180 from last season. It was always going to be difficult to adjust. We also can't compare last season's start to this season. This is almost an anomaly, as we were literally perfect for the entire first half of the season, which doesn't happen often, if at all, and potentially had a big part to play in the downfall at the end of the season, when the pressure seemed too much for this young team to handle. Now we're heading into what people call the business end of the season. We can see the team are playing with much more freedom, and the football is free flowing once again, which in turn is a lot more entertaining for us, the fans. We're now seeing our team blow opponents out of the water early and stifling teams, leaving them to ultimately give up before the game is even over. And the stats back this up once again. Since the start of 2024, Arsenal have scored more goals than any other team in the Premier League, shipping a total of 25 goals. And they're scoring the most goals per game with an average of 4.17. We're also second in the league for expected goals with 16.67, which shows we're massively outperforming our XG. We are undoubtedly one of the best teams in the league, and even in Europe some may say, and we have to be very happy with the direction the team is heading at the moment. And although we may have tripped up at the final hurdle last season, and we've been one of the most patient fan base over the last 20 years, at least it hasn't been 5,852 days since the last time we won a trophy, unlike a certain team down the road. Trophies will come with this team, as there's too much quality, and it seems only a matter of time before they finally cross that finish line. Thank you for watching.